Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to make these vine type earrings. I actually did a vine necklace quite a while ago, and I had planned on doing a matching earrings to go with it, and for some reason I forgot. And then somebody asked me a question about the necklace and about how to make the earrings, so I decided that I would go ahead and make the earrings. Now the earrings are made a little bit different. I will have the link for how to make the necklace, but the earrings are a little bit simpler. Just a pear cut briolet, and I've also made earrings with the marquise cut briolet. It's really your choice. You can adjust the amount of stones you use. If you want to use more, you could use more. I probably wouldn't go with many less than this, because I think in order to get sort of the fine effect you need at least 5. But just using 5 beads, these already measure 2 inches. I have used posts for the ear wire area. If you wanted to use an ear hook or something like that, you could do that as well. It's your choice, but you're going to have to remember that if you do use your ear hook, that will add the length as well. So let's get started. Instead of using a briolet, I'm just going to use a marquise cut briolet. And so I'm just going to wire wrap that, just a regular briolet wrap, so just guide your wire through. I'm working with about a foot of 26 gauge wire, but you can work with wire to fit your bead. So just put the wire right through and then push it against the top of your briolet like that. This is standard briolet wrap. I've got lots of videos on that, so if you need more help with that, you can have a check. I'll put the link below. So that's what you have so far. And then go to the top of those 2 wires and just do a 90-degree angle right around. And then you would have just your loop, and then you can start to wrap down. Just hold on to your loop. Now you can do a neat wrap or a messy wrap. It's your choice. Both will work. It's whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do a messy wrap because it's just quicker. So I'm just wrapping down those 2 wires like that until I hit the tip. And when I hit the tip, I'm going to capture the tip. And then just keep wrapping, and I can start wrapping up again. So that's what I would have. Just bring it right up to the top loop again, and then just trim it off, and then tuck any wires in. So now when you have your briolet wrap done, you're just going to have that ready. So just take a foot of wire and then just find the center part of your wire. So that would be my center part right there. And then I'm just going to do a loop in the center, like that. And then just slide that briolet on. The alternate way you could do this is to put the briolet on at the last if you prefer. But I'm just going to do it right in the beginning. So then I would have that. And then I can take one side or the other, it doesn't really matter which, and then just kind of wrap around the other wire a couple times. Not many, just enough to secure it. So I would have something that looks like that. Now I can start on either side, it doesn't really matter, but generally I start on the right. So that's what I would have. And just slide on. These are a 7 by 5 millimeter flat bead with a little bit of faceting. So just slide one of those on. Now you can go on the top of the bead, or you can go on the bottom of the bead when you do that side wrap. It's your choice, but whichever way you do it, just remember to continue to do it the same way. So you would generally want to keep them, if you're doing all the bottom, just all the bottom, and if you're doing the top, then the top would be what you want to stick with. So I'm just doing it on the bottom, and just what I mean is I'm just guiding the wire right around the edge of the bead. And then when I've done that, I just want to take that wire, the same wire that I'm working with, and just wrap it around the wire the same wire. So it's all the same wire I'm working on. The other one's on the other side. So I'm just going to wrap it a few times to secure it. Alright, so that's what I would have. Now just make sure that that wire's on the outside of your bead, because that's where you want it to be. So that's what I would have. Come around, take those 2 wires. You have 2 wires. Now one's going to be longer. The longer wire is the one you want to use to wrap around the shorter wire, okay? So just bring those two together, and what you can do is start to just wrap around. Now basically you're just coiling the wire around the main wire. Now this is a personal choice. You can go as long or as short as you prefer. It really depends upon how far apart you want your leaves to be on the vine. So I'm just going to do a couple more. Just keep it consistent. So if you do 8 coils, then do 8 coils, or you can make it. You could make it not consistent if you prefer, if that's something that you'd rather do. So that's what I've done so far. Now one wire is still longer. That's the one I'm going to use. And the reason why you would do that is because that way you can maximize your wire use. So you're not going to end up with one super short piece of wire, and then your earrings can't be finished. So you want to have the right amount of wire on both sides so that you can finish your earrings. So I'm just going to guide one more bead on. This is what I have so far. So I've done a few wraps here, a few wraps here, and then again just the same. It doesn't matter which wire you use, but generally, like I said, it's better to use the longer wire. And then because I've started under the bead, I'm going to continue to do that same pattern and just bring the wire right underneath the bead, like that, just under the bead, and then just put it at the base again a couple times. And then you're going to take those wires again, find the longer wire and wrap it around the shorter wire. It doesn't make a difference, whichever one works. And just going to do that a few more times, and I said about 8, so I'll do it again around 8. But it's not so important. You can sort of eyeball it. You can measure it if you prefer, if you want to have it very, very perfect. And then just when you're doing your coils, if they end up sort of riding up, you can use your chain nose pliers to sort of push them together, the coils, so that they're nice and tight together. So now that's what I would have. Now I'm just going to pull that up to the side because that's how a vine would grow. Now I'm going to pull the longer wire, whichever one that is. Going to make that my next bead. Just guide on one more bead. And then again, right under, like I did before. Like that. And then around. And I'm just going to continue wrapping up the base a few more times. Something similar to what I've already done. Coiled around there a few more times. I haven't actually counted, I'm just sort of looking at it by eyeballing it. And then that branch is going to go out to the side. Again, picking the longer wire. Slide your next bead on, and you can notice it's starting to come together. And then just right underneath. And you can just wrap right around the base, and then one more time, and this will be my last one. And like I said, you can adjust it as you go. So just going to coil around a few more times. Now alternately, if you don't like to coil, you could also just twist it. Just take your pliers and then just twist those 2 wires together. You can do that as well. I didn't do that because I know some people said that they had trouble twisting. They found it was very difficult to do it to the right amount so that it didn't break. So, but I just wanted to show that in case that was something you'd prefer to do. And then I'm going to finish this off. Just put one final bead on. At this point it doesn't really matter which is longest because you're going to finish it off anyway. right underneath again, last one, wrap it to the base, and then you're just going to bring those two wires together like that. If you don't like the asymmetrical look, you could always go with 6 beads instead of 5. So again, just you can coil or you can twist, your choice, whatever you prefer. So just twisting it to the point of where I'm going to finish it, bring those two wires together like that. So this is what I have so far. And again, after you have it secured and everything, you can adjust it. So now just a regular rep loop, 90-degree angle at the top of that coil that you've just done, and then just right around your pliers. Grab hold of that loop, and you're going to be wrapping with 2 wires. You just wrap a few times just to secure it. So that's what you'd have, and then just trim it back. And tuck in all the wires. Now all you would do is add your ear post or your French wire, whatever you want. It's your choice. And then you would have your finished earring. This concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.